Hi everyone, welcome to this new video, and in this video we are going to talk about Hashicorp Vault. So Vault has three major components. The first one is auth method, and basically with this particular method you define like how you are going to authenticate to Vault instance. So this could be using username password. Maybe if you have any application who is connecting to Vault, then you can have app roles as well. Or if you are running Vault in Kubernetes, let's say, then you will have a auth method as Kubernetes. So there are various auth methods that are available, and that we'll see in some minutes. So basically auth method helps you in authenticating to Vault using various mechanisms. Now the other important thing that Vault has is policies. And in policies we define like how the data should be accessed by the various users. So you can define, let's say that there is a user A, B, C, and let's say this can access specific path in the Vault, and you can give permissions as well. Like let's say you want to give just read permission to this particular user, then you can define them in the policies. Let's say there is another user which is XYZ, and he want to access some data. You can let's say you want to give read, then maybe you want to give create, and you want to also give update, and maybe you don't want to give the delete functionality. So delete you don't want to give, but you want to give read, create, update to this particular XYZ. And let's say there is one more user called admin, and for that admin you want to give all the permission like create, read, update, delete, and list as well. So all these permissions we have to define in the policies, like which user can access what kind of what access mode that particular user have. So the third thing that we have to see is basically the access part, and in the access part basically we bind the roles and the policies. So the third thing that we have to look for is access, and in particularly access we are binding the policies with the users, that which user is going to have what policies. So these are the three major things we'll have to understand before you actually start using up the Vault. So the first one is auth method. This basically specify like how you can authenticate to Vault. The second thing is policies. Policies defines the access part, like what resources you can access and what operations you can do on those particular secrets. Now the third thing is access part basically, and in this part we basically bind the policies to the user. So now let's go to terminal and let's start running the Vault. So I have already downloaded the Vault binary, and the version that I'm running is Vault 1.14.4, and you can download these binaries from the official docs, the link for which is given in the description. So now let's start the Vault, and I'm going to start the Vault in the dev mode. So Vault server -dev, and using this command you can see that we have a Vault running, and all the secrets that are currently stored in this particular instance, they are currently stored in the in memory. And now you can see that there is some instructions given. So if you want to access the Vault using the Vault CLI, then you will have to export some variables, and you can access that in the UI as well. So that thing also we can see. So let's do one thing. Let's open this particular URL in the browser, and let's try to access the Vault. So here it asks for the token. So the token is already given here. We can see that this is the token, root token. Let's use this to log in. And this is how the Vault GUI looks like. Now there is one more important thing that we'll have to understand is the secret engine. And basically secret engines allow you to store different kind of secrets into the Vault. So if you want to store just key value pair, then you can simply use this key value pair based secret engine. But if you want to store certificates, then you can use PKI certificates. And if you want to store SS credentials, then you can use this particular secret engine. So for this scenario, I'm just going to use the key value pair because I just want to store the keys and their respective data. And I'm just going to click on next. Now I'll simply click on enable engine, and the name of the engine that I gave was KV, but you can anytime go ahead and give the different name. So if I go to KV again, here you can just give a different name and it will create a secret engine based on the name that you have given. So now we have a secret engine called KV, and if we go inside this particular secret engine, we can actually go ahead and create the secrets inside the vault. So let's do a creation of secret. So what I'll call this, I'll give a path basically here, and paths are basically the location where you want to store the secrets. So let's say I give the path as, let's say, database, and then I can give as path as dev, and here I can give like what actually what are my key value pair. So let's say the key is username, and let's say the value is admin. Then I want to add one more key value pair, let's say password, and let's say the password is admin@123. So this is the password and the username is admin. Let's go ahead and save this. So now we have created a secret, and the secret is present inside this secret engine, which is KV, and inside this we have another folder called database, and here we have this file or the secret, which is dev, and inside this we have these key value pair. And now let's go ahead and try to access this particular secret using the Vault CLI. So I'll go to terminal again, and the first thing that I'll have to do is export this environment variable so that my Vault CLI can communicate to this particular instance. Now I'll also export the Vault token so that I can access the Vault through local instance. And after this we will be able to execute all the commands through the CLI. So now this is done, and if I do vault kv list, and let's say I give the path as kv/database, like what all secrets we have. So it gives me the key as dev, and inside dev we should have some secrets. Okay, I don't have to use list. Here I can simply use get, because this is the place where my secrets are present, and here we can see that we got the data, like we got the username and the password. And now let's try to understand how we can create users, because the current token that we are using, this is the root token, and we should never use this root token in our applications. So let's go to Vault UI again, and let's go to access. And here let's enable one more authentication method, and this time I'll choose the authentication method as username password, but you can see the various other authentication method as well. So if let's say you are running an application, then you can use the authentication method as app role, and in that case you will get the role ID and the secret ID, and then you can use them to authenticate to Vault. So to keep it simple, I'll use this username password as authentication method, and I'll go click on next. Now we have to give the name to this authentication method, and for now I'm just keeping it as user pass, but you can give any name. Now I just click on enable method, and I'll just leave these things as a default. So now you can see that we have this authentication method enabled, and this authentication method has a name as user pass. So now we have enabled this authentication method, we have a secret engine, and let's try to create one user inside that with the help of that authentication method. So let's go to authentication methods, and here I can simply go ahead and create a user. I'll give, let's say, give this name as, let's say, John, and let's give the password also as John@123. This is the password that I'm giving, and let's click on save. So now we have a user called John, and we define the username and the password, and using this credential we want to access the vault. Let's see how we can do that. So let's go to terminal again. So now let's log in with the new user that we have created, and let's run the command, which is vault login, and then we have to give the method. So the method that we gave there was having a name as user pass. The method is user pass, and the username that we gave there was John, and the password that was specified was John@123. Let's use this, and now we can see that we are successfully authenticated with this identity, and our token is stored in the vault configuration file, which is at present at /dot vault. So now we have the user available, and let's now try to fetch the secret. So here we can see that when we are trying to fetch the secret, it gives us 403, and it says that the client policy grant access to path is not available, which means that this particular user doesn't have these policies enabled for them. So that's why it's not able to access that. So what we'll do, we'll just simply go ahead and create a policy, and we will assign that policy to that particular access mode. So let's go here. Here is the policy section, and let's try to create a policy from here. And the first thing that we have to give is the path basically, and in the path we have to give the location, like what location we want to give. So the path is kv slash, let's look the path again. So this is the path, and let's give the correct path here. And after this, let's define the capabilities, like what all can be done using the help of this particular policy. Okay, so this is how we can define the capabilities. I'm giving the permissions as create, get, and update. I'm not giving the delete thing. And one more thing we have to do is, since we have given the path as like kv slash database slash dev, so in version 2 of the vault we have to give slash data here as well. So always ensure that after your secret engine name you are giving the data, and then you're giving the complete path. And I'll also do star asterisk here, so that I can access anything after this word. And let's go ahead and create the policy. Okay, let's give the policy as name as user pass underscore pol, and let's create this policy. Okay, it should be, instead of get, it should be read. And so the policy is created, and if we see here, the policy is here, and if we go here, we can see that the policy is having access as create, read, and update. So now let's go ahead and assign this policy to our user. So let's go to access, and the authentication method was user pass, and here is the user. Let's edit this user, and here we can assign that policy. So you see this section, generated token policies, and here we can assign that policy. So the policy was user pass underscore pol, and if we just save this, now this user should have the policy access to simply read the data from that particular location. So let's go to terminal, and we have to just do the login again so that the token is updated. So let's do vault login. So here we can see now the policy is coming as default and user pass pol. And now let's try to do the vault kv get. Okay, so we see this issue, and let's go and see our policies again. So if we go to policies, and the issue is that we don't have to give star here, we can just simply remove this. And now let's go ahead and execute this particular command, and here we can see that we successfully got the data again. And this data we were able to get because of the policies. And let's do one thing. So if you see here, we have given the path till database slash dev. So our user is having access to this particular policy. So let's go ahead and create one more path, let's say prod, and then let's try to read that from that particular path. So I'll go here, and here I'll create one more secret. I'll call this as prod, and here I'll give the same username is admin, and then I'll add one more thing, password, and let's say the password is something different, and let's try to save this. So now the path that we are currently looking is prod, and now let's try to fetch the secret from this particular path, which is database/prod. So I'll just clear this up, and let's try now. And here we can see that we are getting this issue, and we are getting this issue because this particular user doesn't have the permissions for this particular path. So what we can do is, let's say if we want to grant this particular user, which is John in our case, to everything which is present inside database, like at this particular path, then we can just modify our policy. Let's go to policy, let's simply edit the policy, and here I can give it star. So anything which is present inside, like inside database, this particular user, which is John, will have these particular accesses: create, read, and update. Let's try to fetch it now, and now we can see we are able to fetch the data because we have given the sufficient permissions, or policy, we have specified the right policy for this particular path. So now let's see one more flag. So if you want to simply list all the secrets that are present inside this particular path, so let's say if I just run this command, again I'm getting error, and if I list at this particular path, again I'm getting the error. Now in order to fix this particular list operation, what we'll have to do is we'll have to create one more policy. So let's see how we can create the policy. So if I go to policies again, and let's edit this policy, I'll just use the same policy here. It's simple modification, and this time the policy we want is for list, and here instead of data it should be metadata now. So for listing part we have to give the keyword as metadata here, and let's run this now, and here we can see that now we are able to list also because of the policy. So now we have given the right policy, and that's why we are able to list all the secrets that are present in this particular path, which is this one. And if I just run this particular command, again this is going to throw an error because this is not the path, but this is the actually the secret. So the prod is the secret name, and this is the entire path for our secret. And let's see one more option. So let's say you want to list all of them, but let's say we can give one more flag here, which is format, and this is going to give us the response in the required format that we have specified. So let's say we give the format as JSON, and it's going to return us the JSON data in the JSON format. There is one more format which is available, which is YAML, and so if I give the YAML, so we got an YAML array, and the final format that we have, which is table. So table is the default format, and we can see that this is the table format. Again, this is same applied for the secrets as well. So let's say we want to get some secret. Let's say I want to get this secret, and let's say I give the format as JSON, then it's going to return us the JSON string. So here we can see we got the JSON string back. So this way we are able to successfully authenticate to Vault, and we also saw like how we can create the policies, and after the policies we binded those policies to the respective user, and then we did the certain operation like the list and the read operation that we did. But similarly the write operation is also possible if you want to store any secret in a given path. So this was it for this video, and in the next video we are going to build the application, and using that application we are going to connect to Vault and then create some secrets and read some secrets from the Vault. So this was it for this video, and I'll see you in the next one.